Hi guys, this is Carol. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't done so just yet, please like and subscribe, and please share with a friend. So I don't usually take clients at home, but I am home convalescing right now, and my girlfriend convinced me to do some nails for her, and the only reason why we are doing this is because we had a very dear friend who unfortunately passed away, and she wanted to do a tribute set, and since I can't attend the funeral, this was my way of participating and making my presence be known at the funeral. So the person, the dearly departed, likes everything pink, so what we were recently doing was just going through and selecting the colors of different shades of pink that we can create a nail set for her. And I kind of freestyled this the whole way, and then once we did it on one hand, we repeated it on the opposite hand. So right now her natural nails is a little bit long, and so right here, even though you really can't see it, I'm just trimming down the ends with a hand file to the desired length that I can attach the tips. And I don't know why, but I was having such a hard time getting the glue to hold, even though I was using some hurry up spray on it. It is what it is. But anyways, we went ahead and trimmed the nails down on both hands using a hand file. I literally just filed them down. And because she's my home girl, my ride or die, she's dictating everything that... Actually, she's talking to her daughter and not paying attention, but then eventually she's like, put it here, put it there, put it... Like, look, I am not feeling good right now. You want these nails done. Chill. So here we are. I'm just buffing up the natural nail using an 80 grit sanding pen. You all know how this part goes. And we did not push back on her cuticle and all of that type of stuff. She's not going to be wearing these for long. She does braid as well, so it was no need for us to make them like really, really permanent. She's going to cut them as soon as she comes back from the funeral. But and then when we cut them, we will just retrofit them to short nails. But at the same time, we wanted them to hold on. I didn't want them popping off if she was doing something at a funeral. And knowing her, she's going to try to put herself in the way to carry her girl's casket. So I wanted to make sure that they held on like the Hoover Dam. So guys, I am so gently rolling this sanding band over her nail. I'm not trying to thin her nails out. What I'm really trying to do is just remove the surface oils, and I'm doing a little bit of using the ball tip bit to get the cuticles together. But like I said, we didn't push the cuticles back with a cuticle pusher. We're not actually centered on the camera, so you'll have moments where my hands or her hands kind of go off. But hang in there with us. We getting our ish together. And now I'm using a little brush on my e-file just to make sure we get that dust and debris cleaned up before we proceed to add tips as well as continue the acrylic work. I had some extra bits that I hadn't been using, and I just wanted to use all of them on her. We were trying to really get sentimental about this set that we're going to do. So I had a lot of problems with getting the glue to stick here. So we're just going to skip past the sizing of the tips and stuff like that and pick up where we actually started doing the work. So we finally got the tips on. What a fiasco that was. And then here it is. We're using the Valentino dehydrator and the bond to prep the nail for moving forward. And the dearly departed loved bling and long nails and all sorts of stuff. So I'm hoping wherever she's at, looking down from heaven, she's enjoying the set that we did for her. So I started this set on the ring finger. I knew for certain what I wanted to do on that nail. So I started right there and everything developed after the first, that ring finger. So I'm using some glitter that I mix as glitter, pink, purples, yellows, but it had pink in it, enough pink to make it more on the pinky side than any other color that was in there. So these tips are clear. And so we put the glitter down, and so you have that sort of like transparent tip, and then I put a layer of clear over it and kind of design the pieces that are inside of the inside of the glitters, kind of design them exactly where I wanted, and then I put a clear bead and encapsulated all of that. So that's what we're doing right here. And if I am singing nasally to you, that's because I am. Those of you who are following me knows that I have this time of the year until just the beginning of summer, I am going to be fighting allergies the whole way. And right here, I am using my size 14 brush. And I was trying to figure out where my size 20 brush was. And I had to clean up my room a little bit to find it. But eventually, I'm going to come in with the size 20 brush. And I recently started using a size 20 brush, guys. And I am just enjoying it. So that's the first one with a little pink towards the end. I didn't do any pre-shaping on these nails, guys. But we will get it together towards the end. And then I'm going to put in, don't ask me what it is. It's something by Nut Polish. And we went to the back of the nail with that. And sort of like cover up where the pink stuff started, the glitter started. And then we're going to fill in the back. And I get a smaller bead and go into the back and fill it into the back. And then I'm going to put in some clear and encapsulate the entire nail. I don't know, it was really sad. She and I was reminiscing about our friend, and neither one of us was prepared for this. I definitely could not go to the funeral today. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow to be tested. I'm not quite sure that it's not COVID, but because I have always been congested around this time, but I might not be able to convince other people that I don't have COVID, so I had to miss the funeral service today. I hate funerals. And God alone knows I had my share of them in the past couple of months. I had a cousin and an uncle passed, and then now we have a girlfriend now. What y'all think? You think she's gonna be liking this so far? We're gonna pink it out. So we're gonna be moving right along to the pinky, and on this pinky nail, I chose to use some fine glitter. Pink, very pretty glitter. And I noticed that while I'm doing her video, I was turning her finger down. So if you pinch and expand and get a closer view, you'll actually see what we're doing. So this is a beautiful glitter I got from, who made this? Glam and Glitz. And I usually pick it up at my local beauty supply store. And so we are going to just make this particular nail all glitter. And I'm gently just patting it down, sweeping it down, so I get an even application from the cuticle area brought forward. And even though I sung horrible, guys, today is the funeral and I really wanted to get this video up today. Oh, I hate funerals. But mentally, physically, emotionally, she's in a better place. Doesn't make it easier for those of us left behind, but and that's my clear encapsulation bead that just went down. So guys, you know, when I'm doing my videos, I tell people to pinch and expand and see what it is I'm doing. And you better believe when I'm watching other people's videos, I do the same. And there are times I am so critical about my work and the, you know, little anomalies that each nail can have. And I had to tell myself, one of the nail techs that I admire, big time nail tech, celebrity and everything, I was admiring a set that she did because my husband and I will be cruising in April, and she did a mermaid set, and I was like, that's what I want to do for my cruise. And I pinched and expanded the video. And listen, guys, I'm not being critical. That's why I'm not mentioning whose name it was. I realized that sometimes I'm too hard on myself, that when you see a nail set, it's perfect. If you're looking for imperfections, you will find them. Okay, so you know how sometimes you can have a little bit of flooding on the side, and when you are sealing the cuticle and stuff, there's a little bit of product hanging there. When I pinch and expand, and it was the most beautiful set ever. I am still going to do it for my cruise. But I was amazed that, you know, somebody else would look at it, including myself, and be like, oh, my God, I do work like that, and I would be so mad at myself if I left any product on the nail. And as long as the nail is sealed, I felt like, you know, you try not to make sure you don't leave product on the client's skin, but sometimes that is just inevitable. So right here we on to the middle finger. And the middle finger, I think we did it in a solid. Okay, and that middle finger was done with let me see, she's giving me instructions here. Yeah, that's what I thought. We did a darker pink on the middle finger. And so I put on a bead that wasn't very runny. And I am using a combination of powders from Entourage Nail Gallery to Glam and Glitz to Not Polish. And each one of them picks up differently. So I might like this one. I picked it up and I was pretty much able to get a bead that was not going to run off the sides. And then you may see another bead that didn't act right like that because each powder acts differently. And I pretty much got 2 beads in there. And this was like, yeah, the whole nail was covered. And my old nail tech, I still haven't mastered the 1 bead method. But I used to love to see Tony do my nail and pick up just 1 bead and the whole nail. I feel there's something to how the nail gets laid. Gonna fill in the cuticle bead. I'm doing some little reverse strokes, making sure the powder is nice and placed exactly where I want it. And then I'm going to do an encapsulation bead, encapsulate all of that. And then we're going to go in with some, I know this powder by heart because it's one of my favorites from Glam and Glitz. It's called Catty. A lot of the Glam and Glitz colors has female names. And I can tell you this one by heart. This one is called Catty. I absolutely love Catty for pink on pink nails. I wish they would make them in bigger containers, but they just come in these 1 ounce containers. You should try Catty. She is iridescent, full coverage, so she's very opaque. But I love it for pink on pink. Anything that is doing with pink is going to have some Catty in it, if you ask me. A pink set is not complete without Miss Catty. And here we are going to put some more bling. Bling, 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 bling. And she's trying to tell me which nail to put the bling on. Lord have mercy. Y'all ever have one of those friends that y'all love to be together because you get into fights all the time, but it's just love fights? That's her and I, Miss Tiffany and I. But talk about somebody who will knock somebody out, teeth out for each other. There you go. So what are we looking at here? All right, so I'm blending out the tip with two different shades. I have the glittery powder that we use on the pinky, and then I think I added a little bit of that pink, the ones to the upper right corner. I bought that loose glitter in my nail supply store, and so there isn't a brand or a name for it. My husband and I are getting ready to purchase a home, and one of the things I was looking for, I wanted the basement to be split in half. He have his man cave on one side, and I have my nail studio on the other side, and we're gonna design the closet space and stuff like that so that I can have a built-in nail studio, and I cannot wait. And then I'm going to encapsulate all of that stuff with some, and I'm actually using Entourage Nail Gallery mix powder, because as you guys know, anytime I'm using pink, I use the mix, because the mix is a 50% mixture of clear and a very, very sheer pink. So when you do an encapsulation with just clear, I think that it takes away a little bit from the pink look. So I haven't found one that is blue that I can mix that way. But so far I have gotten the pink done that way, where I have a very sheer pink that I can use for overlaying, that it's almost like clear, but it's not. And then on the thumb, we had another sheer pink glitter. And on this nail, I put it down in such a way that I wanted it to look like you're looking out into the galaxy and you're seeing stars moving away from you. And then we put, I believe, 2 hearts and a diamond, or 2 hearts and a star in the middle, sort of like she's shooting out into the atmosphere. God, I just don't even want to be talking about saying goodbye to people right now. It's not even funny. I'm a great advocate of telling people you love them. Do it until they get sick and tired of you saying it. Sorry, guys. I don't want you guys to catch no hoodie cooties from me over the YouTube. So I'm using a little bit of the mixed powder and picking up this glitter. And you see what I mean? When I pull it down like that, I kind of left it open-faced to the front where we can put those things in. And it gave that impression that I just described to you guys. And here is where I'm picking up the pieces that I want, the heart, the diamond. So 2 hearts and I keep saying a diamond. It's a star, 2 hearts and a star. The thing about freestyle is you get an opportunity to do whatever you want to do. And then we're going to put some of that dark pink towards the back to cover up all that blend, that blended out. The only thing I can't remember which name of this powder, but it has some marbling effect that takes place when you put it down. Or you can even see it when you pick it up. It has a little bit of a marbling effect. So, and along your nail journey, do you do a lot of freestyle, or do you like stuff to be the same on every single finger? Once I started doing freestyles, I thought there was nothing like it. That I would even sometimes mix up the freestyle on the opposite hand, the placements of where I will do the same designs, but place them on different fingers on the opposite hand. And I just almost don't want to have identical nothing on my nails when I do freestyles. Or when I do a set on myself. I just don't want it to be identical. So there you have it. That's what the creation we came up with on the right hand. And so we're going to recreate that now on the left side. So I'm just doing some last minute check-in and it's nice and smooth. The apex is built up. I think I'm going to go in with this bead in the back. Yep, right there. As a little hollow. And so now we're going to do the opposite hand. And this time, I started with the pinky. We're trying to figure out which powder went where. We had everything on the table still, so it was kind of, figure it out which one was where on which finger. And that's the fine glitter blended in with some mixed powder by Entourage Gallery. So I'm using a little bit of it to pick up the little bead to pick up the glitter. Because the glitter doesn't have any acrylic in it. It's just glitters. My space is in between, the silence in between, guys. I'm just resting my voice. I think you guys can see the recreation. If any one of you have a great recipe for chicken noodle soup, please help a sister out. One that, not just one you found on the internet, one that you and your family uses all the time when you get sick. Please help me out. I don't like the canned chicken soups. I like the one that your mama or your grandma makes from scratch. Cut up the chicken breast, use the chicken broth, the Italian seasoning, whatever seasonings they put in it to make a good clear water chicken soup. That's what I'm looking for. And you know, us Caribbean folks make chicken soup a little bit different than the way the Americans make it, but sometimes I just like that clear water. The chicken, what else do they put in there? You know, like some onion, garlics, cilantro, green onions, celery. And then once you get the soup made, then you would put some egg noodles, the no yolk noodles in it. That's what I'm talking about. The stuff that knocks viruses out of your body. Or whatever other remedies you guys use when you're under the weather. This doesn't have to be all about nails. Sometimes we can share a little bit of a remedy. Excuse me. Yeah, we're a little bit confused. And this is the reason why personally when I do it on myself, I don't really care to do the same thing on the opposite hand. I just, as long as I use the same elements so that from a far off glance, the nails look like they were intentionally made. I don't particularly care to do exactly the same thing, but it really mattered to her. So, it's my girl. I'm going to do exactly what she says. So y'all, my husband and I gonna be celebrating our 18th. Yes, guys, I said it. 18th anniversary on November 18th. And so we're gonna have a very small, intimate, sweet little vow renewal at my church. And I'm getting really excited about it. I love that man. I could marry him every single day. There's so much crazy stuff going on with the politics. I just don't want to listen to them right now. And we are like 7 or 8 days out to the election. And there is something came across the news. Well, I don't think it was the news. I saw it on TikTok. So you have to, unless I can find it again to figure out where the source of the information was. A particular candidate is saying that when and if they get into office, that they're going to get rid of biracial marriages. And if that ever happens, I am going to be one devastated woman. So I think I know where it came from, and I'm going to go back and look for it and see if that is a real situation or not, because I was like trying to find somewhere, another state. I got married in the state of Georgia. I am trying to figure out, do I need to get married somewhere else? Anyways, guys, they got us so confused right now. You don't know if it's an AI talking, if it's actually the person talking. I'm like, oh my gosh, my head is spinning. I'm about to lose my mind. But in any event, this too shall pass. So I just can't wait to get past get to the point where we actually cast a vote, and whomever wins assume the position of president, so that we can actually go back to some sort of normalcy. Oh, I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. But this nail job is not about the politics. This is about saying goodbye to a friend. But I can't help it. I'm a little bit anxious. I just want it to be over. And I don't want to be medicated because it's an election year. I feel like that's what I almost need, some medicine, I don't know what kind of medicine it would be, but I need something to calm my nerves down. A drink containing some vodka will do it too. Either way. And on this hand, it went by quickly. We back to the catty nail. It's 4:30. Okay. 4:30 in the evening. Another hour and a half before my husband gets home. I'm hungry. I don't know. I was not feeling great at all doing this set. So my silence in some cases, I'm actually looking at the work to see what the heck did I do, because, I was sneezing and hacking up stuff but I really, really wanted to get this done. And I'm looking at them just to make sure that, she's at a funeral. Well, I'm quite sure the funeral is over by now, that I'm doing the voiceover. But I'm just making sure that I actually did a good job. So some of my silences, I'm making sure now that I'm looking at it, did I do a good job or not? And I'm looking at it, and it looked like I need another bead. Am I going to put one to the front? Guys, I don't know what I was doing. I had to do her. I was doing her nails. Okay, yes, I'm going to eventually put it down because I was like, ooh. So what I was seeing is that the front was looking a little bit thin. And because I was going to put some encapsulation and needed to put more product towards the front is the reason why, okay, makes sense. Right in there, coming forward, looked a little thin. And now when I put an encapsulation bead, it will build it up. I was panicking for a second. Now, wait a second. I didn't do my girl like that. And then I'm still selecting the pieces that I'm encapsulating. Yeah, so the front, the tip looked like it didn't have enough product on it now that I'm looking at it. But there was a reason why. I have been fortunate enough not to have COVID or been diagnosed with COVID since 2020. And I'm hoping that what it is I'm feeling is not COVID. There's so many different strains of COVID right now that who knows what's out there. I knew I had to go back in there and put a bead to the front, y'all. Ain't no way. Yeah, pull it forward. Come on, pull it forward. And then her fingers a little bit turned down. I had a girlfriend in Boston who used to like her nails to look like, some people still wear them. I see them very rarely now. They look like claws, like she had those beak looking fingers. And she liked those beak looking things. I haven't seen them as popular as they used to be back in the 90s, but she used to want her nails curved down. Sorry. And yeah, Cheryl Perry she loved her nails curved down. It's not a particular style I like to wear. I prefer the stilettos, the straight, the C curves. But yeah, I didn't expect the duck nails to be as popular as it was. I have not personally worn it on myself. I just know I'm not gonna like it. So even as a nail tech, I should be open and try it. I just haven't done so just yet. And if I do, it will have to be something like the soft jellies or something that I can take off right away. We're struggling to keep our hands on the screen, y'all. Girlfriend, move your hand. Messing up my video. She and that cell phone. Those you know when I talk about putting a clear layer down after I do my prep because the clients make me nervous that they will touch something. She is one of them. Oh my God, I love her, but she's one of the people who will touch something while she's getting her nails done. I'm like, put the phone down, put the phone down. And I understand she's a mommy for kids call. She have to answer them, but it wasn't her kids calling. That's my girlfriend though. So right here, I'm just cleaning up, getting rid of all the stuff that we worked with, making sure I seal them up properly, put them back where they belong, and getting prepping to do some file work and bling out these nails. What do you guys think so far? So here we go in with a hand file. I'm using an old Get Nail 32 file because I could not find my not polished rectangular file. Same things, but the not polished one would have been a little bit newer, and this one has definitely seen many battles. So right now I'm just working on the underneath side of the nail, working on the sides, making sure the tip of the nail is nice and straight. And I'm fighting to find a file that I actually want to work with. and I just had to work with what I had at hand. Yes, so I am actually working on, that after acrylic shape right here. And then I'm going to cut out certain parts of the video because we kept going off camera. And so shortly we will be picking up at the e-filing stage. All right, so y'all forgive me for doing that, but it makes no sense to leave that part of the video in where we are obviously off camera. And here we go. So now we barely on camera here, but we are using the e-file to perfect the shape. And notice my bit is very long. It's extended long out. It's not close to the barrel because this is long nails and I want to have a little freedom to go around the sides and do some sealing work without rubbing up against the guest skin. And I'm going over the top, take out that little bit of a rounding on the top. The stuff that makes all the difference. And of course, I was about to mention it, but I turned it off. I was running the e-file at 15,000 RPMs right there. And then I opted to go in with a fine sanding bit, file bit, a fine bit with the bits extended almost all the way out, but not, come on now, don't put it all the way out. We don't want it flying away from you. We just want you to have enough space for working. I'm going around the cuticle, sealing them down really good, securing the guest's hands in my hand so that I'm not jumping all over her hands with the e-file. And just as I said it, I pinch it in the glove. Oh, anywho. Yeah, so we are refining the nails right here, retrofitting them, getting that hump in the back out. That can sometimes happen if I put a bead down and I didn't pull it down, as flat as it could have gone and still fit within the perimeters of the cuticles. So whenever that happens, I literally have to go in there and work that little hump out on the back right there. So this video runs about an hour, 16, 17 minutes. And we just about 52 minutes in. 51 minutes in. So we winding up with this production. And I have been having problems with the thumbs, making sure they don't come out too huge, too ginormous. So when I'm encapsulating, I usually make the nails thicker on purpose because I need to get the encapsulation in there. And then it gives me space to come back and form the nail coming down close to the encapsulation, but without removing encapsulation, because sometimes that can be an issue. So you can do it however you want to do. That's just one way that I do it. And then I bring the nail back down to, and when I say make it thicker, I don't mean like super, super, super thick. I just want enough distance between the encapsulation and the clear layer on top that I don't grind the encapsulation off when I'm filing. As you can notice, I skip a couple of fingers because once more we went off the grid here, but no worries. I think you guys get the idea of what it is I'm doing here. And right here on the side, I'm policing up the side so that it fits. I don't even know how to explain that. So sometimes on the side, it could be a little lap over. So if you have a tip and you put the powder down and there's a lap over the powder, you can literally see it from an aerial view on the side. So when I run the e-file up the side, what I'm trying to do is make sure I keep it within the lines of the tip. Yeah, that's what I want to say. I keep it within the line of the tip. If you have a little pregnancy on the side, you look from the top down, you will actually see the pregnancy. And so when I run the e-file up the bit up the side, that's what, right here, like that. That's what I'm trying to do, is keep the sides within the walls that it's supposed to be in. And I was making up stuff as I go along just to make sure that, you know, I put a little bit of love into this particular set, even though I wasn't feeling good. So on my table, we are not centered underneath the lamp. And she kept shifting her body away from, and she kept on swiveling the chair. So she keeps moving in the opposite direction. So it's causing us to go off camera. When I'm doing myself, I can literally sit under the camera. Yeah, so if you're following intensely and you notice that there are fingers that are being parts of we jump from one finger to the next, that's what's happening. For some reason, I keep thinking that middle finger, the nail look longer than the rest of them. Y'all don't hold it against me. My eyes were watering and everything. I can't wait for when I upload this to actually go back and look at it from your point of view and see what it is I'm seeing. And I'm using a banana hand file. I love banana files. Like I said, my girl is a braider. She ain't keeping those things on for long. It's just that at the funeral, she wanted to make sure she represented well. Yeah, so let's see. Did she go wash her hands just yet? No, I don't think she washed her hands just yet. So I think I'm going to switch out now and put a buffer bit. If you'll remember, I got one in my new e-file. I got one in the when I unboxed it. Oh no, so this is not the buffing bit, but that is one of the bits that came in, and that's just a ceramic bit that I just wanted to go back around the cuticles and made sure that the cuticles were all set. And because it's a straight barrel, I can literally go down the sides and make sure that the sides are, like we discussed before, living within the realm of the tip. I wish she would slide her body over some. It was definitely challenging keeping her hands on camera. And you'll see me move her hands over to my left. And so I went on to buffing her finger, the enhancements, but you're probably not going to see that simply because she kept moving her body, moving her hand. And so, but I just wanted you guys to know I did buff it. And now I'm putting the cuticle oil. I'm putting the cuticle oil just around the cuticle area so we can start hydrating. Then she would wash her hands. I couldn't keep baby doll fingers on the camera to save my soul, but y'all get the idea, right? So I went on to polishing her nails and everything. Sorry about the fact that those were cut out as well, but now we're just blinging her nails out. And at this point in the game, I'm quite sure we're going to go off camera again, so I'm just going to cut out the rest of right here and pick up back where we will finish blinging them out and we do the reveal. All right, so this was not one of my most perfect videos, but it was a sentimental video for her. And you know, I'm looking at the nail now on her left hand, and I'm pretty okay with them. It's okay. It is what it is. I think we represented the concept well, and she was happy, and hopefully, in as much as funerals could not be a fun place to be, that they had an awesome celebration of life and that she felt like she represented well. All right, so from here we will pick up at the end. So there we have it, folks, the finished look, and thank you for watching.